Hi, how are you today? The improved package has arrived. We're having it fitted in time for FP1. Have a look at the factory report.
G'day guys, it's been a while, but welcome back to F1 2017 career mode. As you can see here, we've got a couple of upgrades for the car. We've got the weight reduction chassis upgrade that we asked for during the Australian Grand Prix, and also durability for for all parts of the car. But we'll skip here to the end of Bahrain qualifying because it was very uneventful. I couldn't hook a lap in, and so we are ready for the start. It's lights out and away we go. For the Bahrain Grand Prix, it was sort of being a bit quick. I apologise for that because I'll explain a bit later. As we dive up the inside, very slow into turn 1, and we're being very opportunistic, and we've gone from 16th place all the way up to 12th, which is fantastic to see. As we dive up inside what I think is Ocon, the reason why this is so quick is that I actually put together this, or the first time I tried this, the editing software I used crashed, which meant I had to do this all over again, and as a result I've sort of rushed it a bit, trying to get this out as quick as I can. As we've gone past the Williams, and he's coming up, and we're coming up to the Haas now. Cut, I believe, to lap 2, still following what looks like Grosjean. We're in the points currently, and we're sneaking up, and we actually locked the rears a bit there, trying to chase him down. Cut to the start of lap 3. DRS is now enabled, trying to overtake Grosjean. He brakes a bit light on for turn 1, and we're going side by side through turns 2 and 3, but we get better drive and we make the move stick into P9. So cut, I think this is the end of the lap. Open up DRS.
Managing it well.
Thank you, Jeff. Coming up to, I think it's a Force India, no, Williams, sorry, of I believe Felipe Massa. We make that move pretty easy, and next up is Daniel Ricciardo. We get very close to Ricciardo here, and as you can see, we've got a lot of pace for the start of this Grand Prix, and yeah, we're even outpacing the Red Bulls. Now, into DRS once again.
11.1 seconds.
Thank you, Jeff.
To teammate is 6.5 seconds.
We dive down both Ricciardo and Sergio Perez. What a brilliant move into turn 1 there, and we're now into P6.
Okay, gap ahead is 3.9 seconds.
So that's the gap to, I believe, Max Verstappen.
Verstappen ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 3.3 seconds. 1.2 seconds advantage per lap. They're on old super softs. We think they've got 2 stops remaining.
Thank you, Jeff. Jeff!
38.3.
Come on. I'm trying to commentate here. So as you can see, we're gaining on Verstappen here quite quickly, or relatively quickly, but we're down on this lap, so not going to progress as far.
P6, we have P6. Verstappen is ahead of you. Okay, gap ahead is 2.8 seconds. They're on old super softs. Perez is behind you. Our gap behind is 4.4 seconds. They're on old super softs. Your pit window opens in 8 laps time. 49 laps to go. Right, some information on Hamilton. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Oh, that's big news there. Hamilton got a problem with the car. I was going to say that we'll get a bit sideways out of turn 2, which was a problem for me this weekend. And here we are going around Hamilton there, and he's got a rear right hand puncture to his car.
Verstappen ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 2.7 seconds.
And then Yep, thank you, Jeff. And thank you, Jeff. Oh my god, what? No, 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 no. Ah. Well, that's a shame. We are out of this race. I could have probably restarted, but I want to keep this kind of authentic, so we are going to retire from session, which is such a shame.
Brilliant stuff from Mercedes today. That's another historic win. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, they played the safety car to absolute perfection. There are so many factors to worry about once the race is neutralised. I mean, do you pit for fresh rubber? Do you have the space behind you? How much fuel can you save? If you answer all of those questions correctly, you'll have a good chance. And that's exactly what happened today.
And here are our podium drivers today after that excellent race. They've excelled here, as they so often do, and it's a well-deserved victory. Mercedes, then, are on top today.
Yeah, so Bottas ended up winning. With the two Ferraris second and third after Hamilton's issues. I was going to say, Sergio Perez actually crashed himself out of the race into the slow-moving
So then,
Hamilton.
it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Moving on to the driver of the day then. Anthony Davidson, who would you go for?
Well, he had a great drive today. Somewhat unexpected maybe, but I'm going to go for Kevin Magnussen. Quick, clean, and in control. It was everything you could ask for.
And now let's take a look at the Constructors' standings. There'll be plenty more twists and turns to come this season. I hope you can join us at the next race to see just who will come out on top.
Oh, thank you, Crofty, and we've dropped to 13th after that race. But the constructors' standings have stayed the same. But yeah, not the best weekend. But we're picking up a few vital resource points for this. For our next upgrade, which I'm going to change it up slightly because I found out the most effective way to upgrade the cars. We're losing to Palmer, and we're almost in the red with the rivals.
Hi. Can I have a quick word? Listen, I don't think the car is hitting its performance targets right now. We really do have to find a lot of improvement. Take a look at the report and we'll talk about it later, okay?
Okay, so Chris is apparently not happy with our development progress, even though it does look there that we are a bit slower. Like, only by like a bloody upgrade or so, but yeah, no one's brought upgrades to Russia, so yeah, I was gonna say, I found out that for R&D, here's our agent.
Hi, it's Emma. Your qualifying goals came up in the board meeting this morning. Here's what to expect.
So we're supposed to finish 12th in quali, but yeah, with the resource points, if you can buy all the cost reduction upgrades in the individual sections, then it will save you a lot of resource points in the long run, which is what I'm going to be doing. And perfect timing here, buying the upgrade for another cost reduction reduces the prices of major upgrades down to maybe, I want to say 800, yep, there we go, right on cue, rather than 1,000 as it was at the start of the year. Having a look at Aero, we're still one of the best. Engines, one of the worst. Apparently Renault were given, this looks so realistic, the engines, where Ferrari have got the main upgrade for that, and Red Bull have got the best Renault engine, which somewhat mimics real life, to be honest. Yeah, have a look at that. There's been no real massive
Welcome
jumps.
F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. This is the kind of track that eats rear tyres for breakfast, or so I'm told by more experienced drivers than myself.
No matter how good a driver is at managing their throttle application to limit rear slip, they can't always overcome a car that's inherently bad at looking after its rear tyres. Here we have a lot of low-speed corner exits, which means a whole load of energy, heat and tyre wear.
Yeah, thank you to both Crofty and Davison. So, yeah, this edits catch me off guard at some points, but you can have a look at the weather there. Rain is forecast in 30 minutes. So we cut to the end of qualifying one. I want to cool down lap, but don't brake nearly hard enough. And I've done a Daniel Kvyat.
Bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright.
Which means that is qualifying over for me. I was easily going to be into Q2. Because the car's too damaged, I won't be driving in Q2. And I'll be going straight into the race, being qualified in 15th. And you can see when we scroll down that it's put us in 15th place, because that's where we've qualified, even though we would have finished that session P8. But crucially, we have out-qualified Jolyon Palmer, which we failed to do last race. So getting a few resource points. We got apparently 3 infractions there, so one change that it seems that Codemasters have done for rivals this year is they've not done sector splits. Well, they've not included sector splits in the rival count. And here's Emma.
Hello. I just wanted to pass on the team's expectations for this race. Good luck.
So, the team's expecting us to finish 14th, which is one place higher than where we're qualified. However, we're going to be making a few changes, including we are going to pick up another engine, because our first engine is about 40% worn or something. It's not going to last 6 races without there being an issue. So I was tossing up whether to pick the gearbox and then go back to the number 1 gearbox, use it for another race. But yeah, I've decided that it's not going to last the whole journey, so I'm just going to pick the number 2 engine gearbox, and hopefully I don't have to use the gearbox for the rest of the season. And since we're going to be starting at the back of the grid now, I may as well just pick up another engine, and then I'm going to go back to an older engine here, yeah, the second engine that we used, so that, you know, I'm tossing up whether to pick the old energy store or the newish energy store. And here I've decided to go with the old energy store, and doing the same sort of toss up with the MG UK, but decided to go with the new one. And then because of that decision, I've decided to go to the new, just go all number 2 components, except for MG UK. Apparently I bloody keep changing my mind. Oh man, that's so that is it. We are off to the race.
Could be a wet one today. Great to have you with us. What are your thoughts?
It is a touch damp, isn't it? Well, as a driver, there are 3 big things to worry about when racing in these kind of conditions: standing water, tyre temperature and visibility. Judging distance to the cars around you is really tricky when you're driving through the vast amounts of spray that these wet weather Pirelli tyres kick up.
Well then, after an exciting qualifying session yesterday, let's take a look at how the cars line up. Kimi Raikkonen's perfect lap yesterday sees him start from pole position, and Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Vettel, Felipe Massa and Verstappen, Ricciardo, Grosjean, Magnussen, and Esteban Ocon, Sainz, Kvyat, Sergio Perez, and Stroll, Palmer, Alonso, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Pascal Wehrlein, Ericsson, and a Renault rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, Jeff here. Can you hear me? We're not starting where we hoped, so you need to be aggressive today and push your way through the field.
Thank you, Jeff. So I'm changing the setup here because of the wet weather. I'm a bit surprised by my commentaries that they are able to find lots more to talk about than what I used to when I first started YouTube. So that's I'm quite pleased with that. We're starting off the formation lap here. I'm going to cut straight to the reform of the grid. I did have to restart this race because of I crashed out on lap 1 and I didn't want to have 2 crashed episodes in a row. We're underway for the Russian Grand Prix, starting from 20th place because of the gearbox and engine penalties. I thought about going up the inside of the Sauber, but I thought better of it. There's so much spray, it's so hard to see. Apparently we hit Ericsson, but I didn't feel a thing. Coming up the inside, we've hit, I believe that's Ocon, and 2 wheels on the paint is not a clever thing to do. Jolyon went for a move around the outside, but thought better of it. We broke a bit late, so we've gone down the inside of Esteban Ocon, I believe that is. We'll see who this Force India is. No, that's Ocon there, so it's Perez behind us. Cut to later in lap 1, excuse me, going down the inside of both Perez and the Toro Rosso of Kvyat, and we've hit sort of a racing incident there. No one got any penalties, no harm, no foul.
4.7 seconds.
So yeah, trying to chase down the car in front.
0.6 seconds.
And we've actually gained a 10th on this last lap as Kimi Raikkonen sets the fastest lap.
Is 7.7 seconds. It could be time to come in for a fresh set of boots. We're seeing a lot less spray at this point, and opinion on the wall is that we'll probably be okay on intermediates.
This is quite a few laps into the race now. After the start it was quite boring, and after Jeff telling me that, I've decided, yep, going to the intermediates, because my experience in this game is that intermediates feel quite decent in wet weather, and I thought if I could do a bit of the undercut I could gain a bit of time on Carlos Sainz, who I was gaining slightly, was setting similar lap times. I've got to change the front wing because I had front wing damage, and I'm going to have a front wing adjustment too, just to lower the wings a bit, help with straight line speed down the straights. And yes, so 8.2 second pit stop, not bad for a wing change.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound.
Except we're not, because it's supposed to get dry about halfway through the race, Jeff. I thought, well, that's what it said on the race director anyway. And yeah, quite, you see here I was getting a lot of grip, or getting a lot of traction coming out of the corners. That's just wet weather and stuff, but yeah, I found lots of...
Weather's certainly eased off for the time being, but we've still got a lot of standing water out there. We're happy for you to stay out on the inters for now.
Yeah, I'm happy to stay out on inters too, Jeff. It is absolutely soaking wet on the track. We're catching up to a...
It's down, set the fuel mix to mode 3. Let's push.
Yeah, not quite yet, because I want the traction. I think this is Kvyat in front of us, because Sainz pitted the lap before. So these guys have been caught out on the wet tyres. The track's too dry for wets now. So what a brilliant strategy call by us means we're up into 12th place. Not quite as high as I thought it was going to be. But we made a bit of mistake coming up to the
An alternate strategy. Do you want to change or stick to plan
coming up to the back straight, and it is now time for dries. This is about lap 24 or so.
A? RS is now online.
DRS has been enabled. It's still kind of drizzling it down, but it's definitely dry weather time. Into the pits, and you can see there's a bit of action in the pit lane. Now I'm not sure if cars ahead have been caught out on being on the slower tyre, but we've gone ultra softs, and we can take the ultra softs to the end of the race. But I was struggling to find pace in this early stage of the race, of the dry stint. I don't like greasy conditions, and Sergio Perez is chasing us down, and we are getting close to having been getting lapped. Perez has decided to tuck in behind us as fastest lap times are being set all over the place now. And look at that, I think we had just set the fastest lap, and then it was immediately bettered by Perez. Now Raikkonen set the fastest lap of the race too. He's really coming up behind us very quickly. Hamilton's now lowered the bar as well, as Perez is very close to our gearbox.
Currently P11, we're currently P11. Magnussen ahead. The gap to the car ahead is 10.9 seconds. They're on fresh ultra softs. Perez is behind you. They're on fresh ultra softs. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. 22 laps to go.
So we've got 22 laps to go apparently. That's why I left that in. We've run wide a bit there, and Perez got very close to our gearbox. There's almost a bit of contact there. We've got a bit of an orange front wing at the moment, which is hampering our performance. And there's our first penalty of the race, which this track is very easy to corner cut with, and with Aussie Sim Racing starting up soon, it's going to cause me a few issues. We've hit, as Perez and I have come together a little bit. You know, it's just managing to hang on here. We're fighting for P11 at the moment now, but in the end I just ran wide because of the hit the wall, got a bit of damage to the front wing, but it was all that was needed. Shut up, Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
Magnussen, they're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Not. Could give a toss, Jeff. Come on. I'm trying to talk. So, yeah, because of that contact with the wall, the car all of a sudden became very understeery, and I had to come in and replace it, because otherwise it was going to be an absolute dog of a car to drive. We would have fallen down the order, which we have anyway, because we had to change front wing and stuff. I think we'll pop out in about P13.
With the white line on the exit, you'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross over into the track.
Thanks for the update, Jeff, you numpty. So, yeah, quite an uneventful race, except for all the penalties that we were getting.
The end of the race.
Come on, Jeff, I can talk. But also, in the end, we've caught up to Alonso, but we hear his backhand and more front wing damage.
Wing, the damage only looks minor, but you'll need to take it easy to avoid making the problem worse.
You can see here Renault power is significantly better than Honda power as we bump wheel to wheel around that curve straight. We spent most of this second half of the race in rich mix. We ran wide a bit there, and that is a bullshit penalty because of what doesn't get paid earlier in the race. But we finished race in P14 because of those penalties. It could have been P12, but we still meet the team objectives, so they'll be happy, and we beat Jolyon Palmer. Here's Crofty.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium, and as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari. And now let's take a look at the drivers' standings. It wasn't the best weekend for our championship leader, and their advantage at the top has been reduced. Now then, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day? And now let's take a look at the constructors' standings. After all that excitement, it's time for a lie down, I think. Thanks for joining us, and goodbye until the next race.
That was annoying. I wanted Davison to talk about my race, because having a look back, looks like I would have won driver of the day. We finished one lap ahead of Julian Palmer, which is incredible. Apparently we got 5 penalties. I don't remember what the other 2 were from, but yeah, it wasn't the cleanest race on my behalf, I must admit. But that fastest lap being 1.5 seconds quicker than bloody Daniel than Palmer's. Well, the driver standings, and we've actually dropped to 14th place now. And with the team expecting me to finish 11th, I need some points finished very quickly to satisfy my team. You look at bloody Max Verstappen dropping down into 6th. A brief look at the constructor standings, and no change in sight, as we pick up a couple more resource points to leave us with 139, which is not enough for an upgrade. Having a look at the rivals, and we're still losing, but only by 3 now. So if we can have a good showing in Spain, we could draw level or even surpass Julian Palmer into the new race. And the career score that will pop up soon will mark the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Give us a like, comment and subscribe for more F1 2017 content. I'm hoping to film some, this is being recorded on a Thursday, I'm hoping to film some 2v2 co-op on Friday with Captain Fry and Lockie. I'm not sure what's happening with ASR. At the moment, it looks like Round 1 is going to be this weekend in Australia, but we'll have to wait for a call from the administrators as to whether that's the case or not. So thank you so much for watching. Have a good one, and goodbye.